Alright, so we're back. Had a little technical difficulty there. So we was playing, in general, I was playing the don't confuse the string shape 5, 6, 7, which is the first three scale notes starting from the fifth of any key, with the magic, the easy chord. I keep saying magic, 5, 7, 2. So 5, 7, 2 is going to be 5, 7, 2. Let's just look up at the fretboard. Let's look at our A box right here. Okay, we're going to look at our A box right here. So here's our A shape. 5, 6, 7. Mixolydian modal caged. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. Double 2, so we're just going to do the 7 root and pick up at the D. So there's the 2, there's the 7, and there's the 5. There's our easy chord. 5, 7, 2, G, B, D. So that's all that says. Now, a little bit of background. Whoop, we're back. Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. And I didn't select an option from there. So what's this all about? Subshape. Okay, if we look at root down here, root 3, 5, da da da. Okay, well, in the fifth Mixolydian box, this is the bottom two strings, E string, A string. We've got the same thing looking like a root 3, 5, but it's 5, 7, 2, but we're substituting in the root shape. That's all that says. Okay, and I'm filling out some of the stuff, and it really gets complicated when you get to the half diminished. Alright, so, you know, we're not going to spend too much time. Half diminished seventh, use the fourth minor substitution and play root C, or raise the third by a whole step to the C note, which is an F sharp 6, and you get your 7. You get your 7, 2, 4 there. And the only exception to the rule for the easy chord is that in the seventh box up here, you know, and I hate to talk about the exception, but we have to, because unfortunately, though, a lot of people don't understand how the system works, and then I'm spending all this time on an exception. I apologize. This isn't that hard to do, though. Just, it works if you hit this 4, but if you have a fret nut and you want to play this on the open string like that, then you don't cut out of this D string shape. You just go 2, 3, 4, and you have a cut in to the C string, to the C long string shape. You'd have a cut in there, or you can just play the A short string shape. All right, so it's just similar to our good old what I call an S3D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. Except the 5, 6 is warped over 1 fret for the tuning third. Okay, so starting on a D up here would be 2, 3, 4, then a warped over 5, 6, then 7, root 2, which is exactly where we are. Okay, so it still works, because with the half diminished, it's 7, 2, 4. Okay, so it'll work if you don't have the fret nut there. That's the only exception. Now, the other thing is that's worthy of mention before we finish up today, and that is that these are your triads. So we're talking about easy chords. How do you get these triads? Here's a major triad in the long patterns. Remember, the long patterns are 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they go into an S4E, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. And then back into 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we want to select a major triad, we're just going to be looking at root 3, 5. Okay, and you would substitute this into the fourth and into the fifth. Over with the minor triads, instead of root 3-5, we're going to do root 3-6. These are the short patterns. They're good to know because you can build nice triads with the short patterns. The long box, the S2 long, is like the S2C is 3/5 root, and then the S3D or S3S, because remember there's no fourth or seventh, so it's short. It's just 3/5 root. So anywhere you have, like for instance in the C box, 3/5, in the pentatonic 3/5/6 root, and then on top of that goes the little square 2, 3, 5, 6, and then warp up root 2, but it's a square, but it's got a top blown in the wind there. Then we just start another box 3/5, but we don't have another string for that. So anywhere we see that 3/5 root, 3/5/6 root, we could just go 3/5 root, and then into the next box 3/5 root, like that, and then 3/5. For the minor, we're just going to invert it and go root 3/6. So down here, we're going to start here, and we're going to go 3/6 root, and then 3/6 root, then 3. We're not going to hit the 6 because it's way up here. So that's how we build the minor triads and the major triads. And of course, the only thing left to do is number one, substitute the shape, the fourth of the shape for the D minor or this 2 minor, substitute the fifth of the shape, the cage shape. These are short cage shapes, traditional cage system, barred. Substitute the fifth for the third minor. The only other thing is half diminished. You can substitute the second, but instead of playing root 3/6 of that second shape, you go root 3 plus 1, root 3, 4 sharp, root 4 sharp 6. You get your half diminished there. So you practice those and do them. And that helps you get that. It helps you get that easy chord. Okay, so these easy chords are easy. That's kind of not saying much, is it? Let's start on root 2-3. Right, what we end up in the top 3 strings that we're interested in here, we're not doing string 6 because it's just a repeat. We got root 3/5, and then in the minor we've got 2/4/6, and then another 2/4/6, and then 4/6 root. Okay, the other 2/4/6 was 3/5/7. Okay, 2/4/6. These are easy chords, or easy arpeggios, right? Root 3/5 root. Okay. And what else do we have? We have 5/7/2 and 6 root 3/6. The half diminished is 7/2/4. 7, like that. And then so those are the easy chords. And they represent, the string shapes that you would build. And you can build a string shape on anything, any scale degree. So if you're doing something in like C here, and you're here on this G string shape, you just go 5, 6, 7. Any scale degree, you just build the appropriate string shape from. Okay, and you just got to know how they stack up. Root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, brick wall. Unless there's a tuning third, unless this is the G string and this is the B string, then you have to move the 4, 5, 6 up one. For instance, okay, all right, so we're just going to have a general discussion here. Let's say on the G string we've got a root 2 3 right here. It's in the G box. Now it's just a coincidence that we're talking about the G string and the G box. Okay, we got a root 2 3 here. 4 5 6 sits on top of it. How about this one right here? How about these two guys right here? Let's look at them. Root 2 3 4 5 6 brick wall. But here, root 2 3, and then you have to go up 1 fret because there's only a tuning third between root and 3 there, where normally there's a tuning fourth between all the other strings. Root to 4, root to 4, root to 4 up here, root to 4 here, and there's one more maybe, root to 4 here. Okay, so that's how we build the pattern. And on top of here, we're going to, this 7 is actually on top of this accidental. These little dashes are accidentals. We just build the pattern like that, and it goes in a circle. Goes in a circle. So here's our little circle. But now this is the caged circle, not the circle of strings building up. So if we want to connect things horizontally, we use the caged circle. If we want to connect them vertically, going clockwise, we have to skip 2 string shapes to get to the next cage. So it's root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root 2 3, etc. But if we want to go horizontally, going clockwise would be going to my right towards the gaping echo chamber. All right, so we start root 2 3. Then D would be what? Right here. Okay, but if we want to go to our right, actually, guess what? We wouldn't be using caged unless you want to play your way there. So you're doing something like... Okay, you want to kind of play your way there. So it's my bad there. If we're going to go even to the right or to the left, we are going to have to skip those string shapes again. So let's look at it. Root 2 3, we're going to 4 again. We're going to E7 again. Okay, then we're going to C3. Okay, so if you want to go, same thing, you have to skip 2 each time. Sorry, I was wrong about that. With the caged system, the usual caged system, which is what? Starting in the C-shaped C, it's 3 4 5. Okay, now you can go to the A in that system, and you can go and only just share. So you're really just pivoting on that 5. So 3 4 5. Then the short A is 5 6, and then A goes to G is 6 7 root. C, A, G, E, sharing these two now, and then D. So you're pivoting, but here you can't pivot because you got to skip 2 of them, so you still got to go to the 4th. You know, and you can do it by numbers. So E, root goes to 4, 4 goes to 7, the root goes to 4, 4 goes to 7, 7 goes to 3, so you're going ahead 4 scale degrees each time. So starting on a D is 2 3 4. Next we're going to go 2 3 4 5. Right? So if we're going the other way now, we just